All right.
And Nick, you've been pretty lucky with weather all camp, but on a day like today, do you change anything, emphasize anything differently?
No, it'll be good work for us to do. To get through to get the weather as far as just our handling of the football in practice, which we anticipate in the Northeast that we'll have some bad weather games here and there. So it'll be good for us to practice that today. So nothing's changed. I assume if it goes into a lightning or which I'll have to get off the field or torrential downpour, we may have to change a little bit. But this is good for us to get some work.
How's Steen?
I'm sorry.
How's Steen? Update on?
Yeah, he's working to get back.
When it comes to evaluation of players, Nick, how difficult is it to sort of address these preseason games when you're talking about competition level from start of the game to second half?
Say that one more time. I'm sorry.
When it comes to evaluation of players,
Uh-huh.
how difficult does it make it for you, the coaches, when you have to take into the fact that the changing lineup? So you're playing against potential
Sure.
starters
Okay.
early.
Gotcha. Yeah. Again, everything's evaluated from what they do in practice to what they do in the game. And obviously, the talent level, everybody's good when you get to this point, but I hear you. But you take everything into account, and obviously that would be taken into account as well. But again, we feel like we have so many reps that we've gotten at practice and in the game. The game's just another tool for us to evaluate players. But like I said, everything's taken into account.
After watching the tape, Nick, who popped that you might not have appreciated during the game?
I thought the guys played hard and physical. Again, as far as defensive goes, we had one missed tackle against Baltimore. I think we had two on the same play against New England, which is still, you're going to have missed tackles, but I thought we tackled well. So, I know I'm saying the 4 missed ones, but there's also a lot of plays that happen during a game. And so, again, we hit our percentage of what we wanted to do. So defense tackled well. Defense pursued to the football well. So I'll say that as a whole on defense. I thought we played with good fundamentals on offense. There was some really nice combination blocks that set off some good runs on some gap scheme plays. Tyler Steen had one in particular that he was comboing with Dylan that I really thought was nice. Nick had one also, I think, with Dylan on a similar play. That was a really good combination block. So I thought we caught the ball well. I think we only had one drop in that game. So we played to our culture as far as our detail of what we want, as far as our effort and our fundamentals goes. So, I thought that's a positive when you're doing that. The other thing that you saw, again, you're trying to evaluate every time you go out there, you're trying to get better at your fundamentals, your detail, your culture, right? You can't always, the outcome's not always in your control. There's different things that kind of affect that at times. But I really liked how our guys were connecting on the sideline as far as just being there for each other. Someone sent me a clip of AJ, Devontae, Chauncey, and Jalen Carter, going crazy when Joe and Paris Campbell when Joe had a catch on the sideline. A really nice play there. So you love to see that. You love to see the energy and the guys being there for each other. So I thought that was really cool. So some of the things as far as our culture goes from the game, I thought went really well.
What's the plan for Kenny's struggles were related to protection?
Yeah, drives get killed by sacks, right? And so, as far as if you get sacked on second down, now you're in a third and impossible a little bit, right? So it's not just the play of the protection, but it's the next play that could lead to the, how we play the next play, right? Like we had a 2nd and 22 that we had a good screen pass on. So it's not just, again, you're put in different situations as far as what happens after a sack. This is an ultimate team game. So, for the quarterback to be successful, the rest of the offensive line, the receivers, the backs, the tight ends, they have to do their job, and vice versa. For the receivers to be successful, the quarterback has to. So to say, that's what I'm saying. It's a team game, right? It's about the team. It's about the team. So, how everybody plays is dictated by how the other person plays. So I would say some of it, some of his plays that you would want back or happened on a couple of the breakdowns or the play after that.
Coach, your take on the tush-push now with Jason Kelsey out. Your take on the so-called push-push without Jason Kelsey Has it changed any? Is it still something you would like to go to?
Yeah, again, Jason's one piece of that puzzle, right? Jalen's another huge piece of that puzzle, and then Landon and the guards will be a huge piece of that puzzle, and the offensive line, right? And so you're just getting reps with guys that haven't got reps of it. And so we'll see, we'll see where that is and obviously not giving any answers until we get out there and play a game, but we haven't been successful with it, right? You're seeing that it is a hard play. Like, I'm glad they didn't take it out of the game because it's not just a gimme. It really shows you the talent of the guys that have been out there succeeding at that play for the past 2.5, 3 years, right? And so I feel like that should give you an appreciation of how good we've done it in the past. But we'll see. We'll continue to rep it. We'll continue to walk through it. We'll see if we practice it. That was a discussion this morning, if we needed to practice it, and we'll go from there.
In Cooper DeJean's case, is the thought still corner and slot, or given the depth at safety, will you consider him there now?
Yeah, we'll see. We'll see where he is as far as, you don't ever want to overload a guy right at the beginning. I'm looking forward to watching him practice today, ramping it up a little bit even more today. And then you got to take each guy as, its own case, right? And so you look at the situation that the team has, and then you also look at what the guy can do. And so time will tell, and look forward to seeing him go out there and roll today.
When it comes to are you where you want to be in terms of kick return?
Obviously, we all have work to continue to do there. I don't think anything we're not where we want to be in anything, right? We want to continue to grow in everything that we do. Kick returns even more so because it's such an unknown. Now we gave up a big return, and we need work at it because every time we do it, we learn a little bit more about it. Like every time we take a rep, our coaches learn a little bit more about it. Our players learn a little bit more about it. So we're actually starting a period today. It's not on the script today as far as kickoff and kickoff return. But today we're going to start a period. We added a couple things in practice to emphasize that while our pads are on. We'll do even more so tomorrow to make sure that we're ready for it. So to say where we want to be, obviously not, because it's such a new play. But we're gonna add some stuff today to practice that you'll see, in the days leading forward to practice that you'll see to ramp it up even more.
There's been a lot of conversation around the number 2 quarterback job. Curious about the different factors that go into your evaluations. I know there's a number of them. What are the different things that you guys weigh?
Sure, yeah. Practice every day, walk through every day, classroom, every day. Obviously, everyone gets to see, the entire league gets to see the game, right, when it's live and going. And so there's just so much that goes into it. Individual routes versus air, all those things are factored into when you're evaluating not just a quarterback but every position. I'm really pleased with our quarterback room. Obviously, Jalen's had an unbelievable camp and he's done an unbelievable job. But I really do feel like we have two guys. I love the whole room. Will got in and made some plays, but I really feel like with Tanner and Kenny, that we have guys that a lot of teams would like to have and be in this situation where you have two guys that you feel really good about. There in case they need to play. Hopefully they never need to play. Right. That's the plan. But we know but. And Will, like I said, Will went in for a series, and he went down and showed what he could do. So really just excited about the entire room, and really pumped that we have that group in place.
Whenever you historically as a team, place a lot of value on the second quarterback, what is the conversation carrying 3 through the initial 53?
Yeah, the value of a backup quarterback, it's all positions that you need depth at, right? Even more so at that position, because that person touches the ball every time they get the ball or every time there's a play. We haven't run a lot of Wildcat here in the past, so like they touch the ball every single play, and so. As far as how many you keep, you've seen how many we've kept the last couple of years, but every year is a new year, every year is a different year, and we'll see how it goes this year.
2 more, please.
Martin, you got one?
Yeah, what kind of stops you place in the fact that, Jalen hasn't thrown an interception in any of the practices. How much does that mean?
Yeah, what I've seen is like that can go a couple different ways, right? That can go where he's not taking risks, but I don't see it that way. I see him pushing the ball down the field and taking the plays that are there, and when the play that he wants to push down the field is not there, he's checking it down. So he's playing really good football, and so that's a product of him. He's taking what the defense is giving him, and that's good quarterback play, right? Good quarterback play. The quarterback play I get so excited about is like, hey, we have this shot on, or we have this intermediate chunk on, and they didn't give it to you, and then we take a check down for 10 yards. Like, that's awesome. That's awesome football, and that gets me more excited than sometimes the big wow plays, because that's just the development of a quarterback and making plays. And so that's what he's done. I think he's just had a great camp in that of taking care of the football. We put so much emphasis on winning the turnover battle. I don't know if you guys know, I went over this with the team the other day, but in the past 3 years, since 21, 22, 23, when we've won the turnover battle, we're 20-1. We were 6-1 in 21. We were 10-0 in 22, and I believe we were 4-0 last year, which ours are even higher than the league average as far as just the turnover battle. And so we put so much emphasis on that. But you put so much emphasis on that without trying to – the explosive play is important as well. And so Jalen just done a really nice job of delivering the football of where it needs to go and making great decisions with the football. And, man, I couldn't be more happy with where he is right now, and I look forward to him having another good day today.
Has your definition of an explosive play changed?
No.
Kellen Moore?
No. Mm-mm.
Where do you think Nakobe is? Difficult rehab. What have you seen from him at this stage?
Yeah, I think he's had a nice camp. I'm excited about that linebacker group. We got some guys that haven't played at all, and we have some guys that are veterans, and I'm excited about that group. And Nakobe played really well in the game. I know, Bo, you asked me about who played well. I thought Nakobe played a really, really good game. He was flying around to the ball. He had this play. First of all, just to talk about our core values, he had a detailed play on his tackle where he shot out and made a tackle on a screen. That was awesome, right? His fundamentals of tackling, he just got the guy down. I wouldn't say it was like the prettiest way. He just tackle it, get the guy down. We talk a lot about our fundamentals of tackling. We're going to do a drill out here today just to emphasize it again. And he just did an unbelievable job getting the guy down. Then he had a play where he blitzed, had the back on him. Would like to have a better win there on that play, but then we had a couple missed tackles on the play, and then he's 4 yards in the backfield and retraces. So it makes a really good tackle where sometimes what happens on missed tackles is it turns into an explosive. Well, that didn't because of the relentless effort of Nakobe. And so, his fundamentals, his and his tackling, his block destruction, and then his effort on his plays is really where you're being able to see his talent.
Thanks,
Thanks,
Nick.
guys.
Thanks, guys.